Pleiades Superstar is the newest contender to the Armory Deck product line, and she's here to steal the spotlight. This deck thrives on attention-grabbing suspense auras and towering, hard-hitting attacks that can leave opponents staggered. Her game plan revolves around controlling the tempo by building pressure with lingering auras, keeping opponents guessing with instant speed tricks, and unleashing devastating finishers when the stage is set.
If you're looking for a full unboxing review, my friend Sloop Duke got you covered over on his channel. Now I'm sure you know how to get there, but I still left the link in the description. If you're watching this, chances are you already have or you're planning to buy the Pleiades deck. So in this video, I'll be spending around $50 USD upgrading it to a list that's hopefully as close to competitive for a fraction of the price. A special thanks to LSS for sending me this Armory deck to review. Now, since this is a new hero with a bunch of new cards, I already went to a local armory to play it out of the box. And surprisingly, I did really well. I won a couple of games, but ultimately lost to a Celio, though it's still really close. So let's check out my initial thoughts after playing these games.
Out of the box, the deck felt pretty strong. The main hurdle was consistently generating confidence tokens. Likely first-time pilot error, but still critical to the game plan. Toughness tokens didn't matter much as they only come from boots to the boards and uplifting performance. Going wide could be worth testing with budget-friendly options like Zealous Belting, Outmuscle, or Blow for a Blow to help against Gravy Bones and slower decks. Defense reactions are on the table too, though the trick is finding the right number. With so many big attacks, pummels also feel like natural inclusions. For the cost curve, I'd lean on 3 to 4 cost attacks like Crush the Weak, Chokeslam, and Grind Them Down. Since most suspense auras buff any attacks, generic staples work well, though Command and Conquer and the weakest link are out for budget reasons. The blue base we could swap in attacks like Chokeslam, Thunderquake, and Cranial Crush. Imposing Visage is an option, but at $15 a copy, I'm not convinced it's needed. Cards from Super Slam are still unknown value-wise, so budgeting for In the Palm of Your Hand, Crowd Goes Wild, or Cries of Encore is tough. We currently have 1 copy each of Up on a Pedestal and Thespian Charm, but I expect those to stay affordable. Another consideration are Aura Destruction cards that could help against fealty token generators, brutes, runeblades, illusionists, and other guardians.
There's probably a version of Pleiades that could run a different weapon, but I've stuck with her current weapon for now. Just before jumping into my picks, I want to shout out Codex Journals.
Whether you're leveling up for your local armory or prepping for your next competitive event, this journal helps you track matches, spot patterns, and sharpen your game plan. Testing Pleiades with mine has been huge for dialing in upgrade choices and leveling up from each game. If you'd like to grab one, use code FABWORK10 for 10% off and to support the channel. My affiliate link is available in the description. Okay, so here are my initial budget upgrades. For equipment, I kept the original Armory deck suite in the main board, but added Null Rune Hood, gloves, and boots for Wizard and Runeblade matchups, plus Crater Hoof to help finish longer, grindier games. In the main deck, I cut 3 blue Boulder Drop for 3 blue Chokeslam, but honestly this is entirely local meta dependent. I moved the 2 Spinal Crush to the sideboard and added 2 Thespian Charm. Replaced the 3 blue Comeback Kid for 3 Cranial Crush. I then replaced Never Give Up for a 3rd Tear Asunder. I removed the 3 Uplifting Performance for 3 red pummels. And lastly in the main board, I removed 1 Suspense Is Killing Me and 1 To Be Continued for a 2nd, Up on a Pedestal, and a 3rd Fault Line. For the sideboard, I added 3 red Crush the Weak, but red Chokeslam is also fine here. I added 2 Blow for a Blow to see if this could potentially help the Gravy matchup. I added 3 Sing Belows just cause it's a solid defense reaction card against disruptive heroes, and lastly I added a 3rd Spinal Crush. First game was against Gravy Bones. I sided in Spinal Crushes and Blow for a Blow, cutting the red Boulder Drops since he could exploit the Crush effect. I went first and used the chance to set up a couple of auras. On Ashley's turn, he played a Tip the Barkeep and followed by a Murderous Rabble for 1. Since I had Turning Point in hand, I chose to take the hit, dropping my life by 1. On his next swing, I blocked with Turning Point and gained a confidence token for my following turn. On the crackback, my Act of Glory pops, giving my first attack +6. I then played Spinal Crush for 15 with confidence. Ashley took 9 damage and was left with only 1 action available on his next turn. Early turns were just trading attacks with little pressure, but once he set up 2 limpets and a swabby, things got scary. I was hoping for a blow to clear them, but after a few turns I realized I could simply outdamage him. So I ignored the allies and went straight to face, stacking damage each turn through careful suspense counter management. I closed the game with his crew still on board. What a finish! Next up was Florian. I figured he'd be packing a ton of defense reactions, so I swapped into my aggressive cards and pumps, dropping my own defense reactions and running Null Rune Boots for Arcane Barrier. In hindsight, I should have used the Crater Hoof and used a different Arcane Barrier equipment. Sure enough, he had an answer for everything I tried. My biggest mistake was taking too much damage early just to set up big attacks, only for them to get fully covered anyway. When I finally started to stabilize, a crucial felling of the crown forced me to bottom a pummel I was planning to use the following turn. Then he followed up with an onslaught of go again attacks, followed by my new nemesis, Summer's Fall. I really hate that card. Once he got his rune chants going, my fate was sealed. The game closed with him sending a cadaverous tilling for 13 and plus 18 rune chants while he still sat comfortably at 21 life. Honestly felt like an uphill climb the whole way. Definitely a tricky matchup I'll need to test more. My last game was against Arachne Marionette. For this matchup, I sided in Spinal Crush, Crush the Weak, and Sink Below. I took out cards I felt hard to set up, like Red Act of Glory and Pummels, and also cut 2 of the 3 Thespian Charms since they don't block. I went first and set up 2 auras. Ashley's turn back was fairly weak, though he managed to mark me and transform into Arachne Tarantula. In the early game, I kept up steady disruptive pressure, which gave me the lead. I even managed to finally resolve a standing ovation by carefully weaving my auras together and leaking in 7 damage. At that point, I felt pretty good, but I got greedy and misplayed, taking far too much unnecessary damage on 1 turn cycle. Even so, I stabilized and pushed Ashley down to 3 life, then everything fell apart. I drew a full red hand, which caught me completely off guard since I normally track my pitch stack. That setback was brutal. I couldn't keep enough cards to send anything meaningful back. I ended up blocking with my whole hand and passing. On my last hand, I drew the lone Thespian Charm in the deck. I couldn't block efficiently, and with no good options left, I ultimately lost the game. Looking back, I think this was a very winnable match if I'd tracked my pitch stack properly, avoided unnecessary damage, and sided out that last Thespian Charm, which just doesn't pull its weight in this matchup.
This Armory deck offers a great mix of fun, power, holding its own against a lot of tuned decks straight out of the box. I've included both my initial budget upgrade list and an updated version after I tested the deck against a variety of other heroes. As a bonus, I've also put together other deck lists at other price points for those who want to explore further. Make sure to check Sloopdoob's review over on his channel. A special thanks to my channel members and supporters. If you'd like to support what I do, consider becoming a channel member. Every bit helps keeps this channel running. This was Jackie for the Fab Workshop. See you next time, and thanks for watching.